Hello and welcome. Quick little update for today's date, October the 21st, 2019. All bets, trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. Quickly looking at Bitcoin, Cash, Litecoin, and we'll first the two together. A ratio across which I am trading, and I know for sure that other people would be, even though it might not be available just because it's two very highly common, highly common, highly market cap coins. And within that being stated, I know it's only a little bit that would, and it's really just a matter of division. But you know what? Fibonacci can work really interestingly. When we take a look at this, that's the 8 hour chart. 1 hour, this thing has been Litecoin being dominated by Bitcoin Cash going from 392 earlier yesterday up to 4.3. A little bit of retracement earlier today down the 18 average of lows and still hanging in there. But we take a look at this on the 1 minute. This thing can just go down really, really fast. And within it, I ended up putting a deposit somewhere, I don't know, in here somewhere. I wasn't able to sell, not yet, that of Bitcoin Cash for Litecoin. But when we take a look at the Fibonacci from this high to this low, which represents the key numbers in at 4280 and 4257 handle. 4280 just happens to be right up here, and the 5257 is this little level of resistance in here. So you have the big move, you go down, you come up 61.8 down to 38.2. You're still in the major decision trying to really make sense of the market in that have some time come into play. You've established those resistance and support and see how this move reacts from here. Because how does it react? What it's not doing is what we've seen so many times where it just does a sideways like bull flag kind of deal or bear flag, whatever, just a flag pattern of going in a sideways rectangular range. Rather, it's had some price movement. It went up 61.8 down to 38.2. So I'm expecting the price movement to continue on moving. And now I'm looking to see within each of these levels how it breaks, because everything to me in this little area from this time frame is neutral. And this is bearish bullish. So if I can see momentum bullishly above here, I wouldn't be surprised if it has a nice decent move higher. And then same thing when I see weakness down here, at least a move to the previous low. And when I'm looking at the ratio, what's Bitcoin Cash been doing on the 1 minute time frame against BTC? Well, we've had this little run up. There's the move down, and looking at this to me in here looks like. Let's just take a look at quick Fibonacci here. We got 2805 and 2876. Which puts the key numbers in at 32 and 49. So the 49 area pierced above it. The 32 area, of course, that was the area where it did support. So in this sense in here from, we just look at this again here, it's 2832. Yeah, from this level here. So 61.8% down, and then the correction to this key Fibonacci again. So same thing, I'm looking for how the movement would go. Right now it's having a test number 2 of this area in here. That doesn't mean it's going to break down from there, but you definitely have to be cautious upon it. For when I see this, I know some of the common situations is that it can just have a decent move like almost ASAP. Or it could do one of these things where it resists it coming down, and maybe we do end up finding support, and we'll just have to keep on waiting this in the situation because it's all about how it can work within a break of this. Because if it breaks above this little level here, then we're talking about we've been in a good run, and we're probably going to extend a new leg higher. If we fail from this point where we've had a key low, a key high, a key low, a key high, and if we're failing this key low exactly where you'd expect it to go to, now you got to start filling and talk about filling some of this empty space. And your next obvious spot, if it breaks below here, would be this previous key of level of support in here. And when viewing it on the most, like the very long term, I guess, well, not very long term, but on the 8 hour term, here's a situation in which we've had this multiple layers or times of support here at this 2840 handle where we are now. And you break down below this, not much of a move. You resist it to come for the first time after the break below. Matching low, higher low combination, but holding in this area, and now back again. So we got the possibility of that failed breakout And when you go down there, like I say, sometimes you break below, you resist it, and then if you see weakness below there, that's a decent move. But on the contrary, movement above higher, you're looking at a failed breakdown situation, which usually would have a fast move at next play to what I would presume the upper end of this previous range. Whether it would break above it from that point on or not, I don't know. The advancement would be just getting back to that sideways consolidation. Breaking this range, we're looking to go up here. But breaking on this one here, now we're going to be starting to talk about some very significant levels it can go to, because it's a decent move for the next play after this. And we can just quickly think, okay, how about some key Fibonacci? I would think, well, this low, this high, but I think this low is or more makes it more important just by looking at this. So if I take a quick look at, say, the 2365 handle on Fib, let's bring the calculator back up again. And we take a look at the high, which is on the 70 area, or 642, we'll say 6422. So we'll get a good approximate area. So the key handle numbers are 3464 and 4388. So 3464, which was pretty much hit here. What was the high here in this period here? 3481. Huh, relatively close. Barely piercing above. So therefore, 4365. Oh, this little, I just happened to draw it in where Fibonacci is. I didn't need the calculator there. Just and that usually works out anyway, because when you look at fib levels, when you put the lines and you're like, oh my goodness, these two main lines just happen to go at major key areas. So if it breaks out above this level, that's where I'd be expecting the next price action to go towards. And within Litecoin, I talked the last couple of days about that inverted head and shoulders pattern short term. Well, this is 8 hour. That's really not so short term. But since the move from this key high to this key low, we've had the numerous amount of lower highs to get things going, and higher lows and lower highs and lower lows. And then we have this. We'll call it a matching high for the most part in this little area of congestion. And this little area, you say it's higher, but again, matching, but more along the lines of it's just been going sideways from this last leg lower. So within this, generally speaking, you got to break the key levels. You can see that there's these levels in here, and then just like Bitcoin Cash and many other ones, if it breaks through this little barrier here, it could have wild movements. As I've said before, in verbiage, when these cryptos are ready to go, they can go. They go up faster than they go down, being more common things. And I can try to predict, oh, it looks like it's going to go up, and then, oh, it doesn't. And when you look at this on the hourly time frame, for me, it was looking like that was the case in here when we had the left shoulder, the head, and then this right shoulder. But it never did get above the neckline. Did end up breaking down below this level of support. Since then, it has held in okay. It did fail to make a higher high in here, still within this little choppiness kind of correction. But the movements, of course, within the original chart that I shown, within the Bitcoin Cash and the Litecoin, this one's less volatile, like 60s, like the volatility here is 661 to like 671. So that's a difference just within the last 6 or so hours of like 1.3%. So it's really, really low volatility. So right now, Bitcoin Cash is controlling, for the most part, the general movement of that crossing. And being that this is the Money Charts channel, I'm talking about things that are not stocks and trading, but I've been talking a little bit about sports gambling. This in this case of DFS, and my stakes here have been low. I'm probably going to. I want to try to increase it without depositing, as this is the net gains. I've played like well over 300 lineups, like 350 almost, and I'm going to add 20 more to this list after today. So I got 20 lineups for $5 venture. If I lose everything, which is almost impossible with the way I got my lineup set up tonight, it would be down to, well, this is what, 28, so I'd be down to about 23. I'd make a higher low, I suppose. But these are the net results, so I'm only up about like under 30 bucks, which isn't much, but I figure, you know what, let's play a game of it. Let's see if I can make a 5-figure score by the Stanley Cup Finals. I'd be happy if I got 4, but I think it can be done, and I like to put things into charts. It's something you may not be aware of myself. And I also like to make bets or gamble. Something else that you may not be too familiar with. Also, I like to be sarcastic here and there, and that's being the obvious. And sometimes I'll just point out like the obvious things that mean like nothing. Like for example, uh, I don't know for sure. I can't tell you that Tom Brady told his wife, "I'll be there in a minute." He might have. He probably did at some time, but I don't know. But you know what? I can tell you what WWE wrestling legend Hulk Hogan said to his brother. He said something. Alrighty, thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.